Today we're in Orlando. I made a trip to Casa de Austin. A few weeks back, he texted me asking how do we make this recipe he's been craving for some time. So I gave you the recipe. You said it was a 10 by 10. As a matter of fact, look at the text right here. I saved it. He says it was a 10 by 10. So what are we making today?
We were making pulled pork subs. Growing up, it was really good. It's a very easy recipe to make. You just throw it in the crock pot and give it a couple hours and it's good to go. Perfect meal for leftovers as well. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it on today's episode of Cook! Don't Be Lazy! So first things first, we're all going to get out our crock pots, and after we get out our crock pots, we're going to get a...
Wait, let me ask you this. Why are we getting out our crock pots? How many crock pots do we need to make this recipe? Do we need 3 crock pots?
You need 1 crock pot, but I'm speaking to the viewers, so there's multiple viewers, so I'm reaching out to the general audience.
So okay, so when you're saying crock pots, you're talking about their crock pots?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not talking about our multiple crock pots.
So after you get out your crock pots, we're gonna put in a spoonful of butter. So just grab a big spoonful of it, the bigger the better, and then you're gonna throw that right into the crock pot.
Damn, Mr. Violet, why are you hitting it so hard?
I don't know.
Alright, so quick question. You're using the fake butter. Does it matter if it's fake butter or real butter?
It doesn't matter, butter's butter.
No, butter's butter, but real butter tastes a little bit better. Real butter, better. That's a tongue twister. What's the next step regardless?
Alright, so the next step is we're gonna get our meat. So for the meat, I'm using a pork Boston butt roast, otherwise known as a pork shoulder. It's the same thing.
Different name?
Different name.
Same thing.
Same thing.
So,
yeah.
Question, do you happen to know if what's it called? What's that? What does it say on the package?
The pork Boston butt roast.
Okay, so does the butt come from the butt of a pig?
I don't think so.
Well, you just said, you see, this is where you got to think logically, because you just
pork
said,
shoulder. It's the shoulder of a pig.
Exactly. Yeah. Now you got it. Now you got it. All right. So what are we gonna do with the pork butt?
All right. So we're gonna end up putting it in the crock pot, and we're gonna let it cook. All right. So when you put it in, you're gonna want to put that fat side up. And putting that fat side up, you're gonna let all that that fat cook into the bottom of the meat and let it all, you know, flow. It's gonna add some extra flavor to it. All right, so once you put that meat in there, you're gonna go ahead and you're going to put on the lid of your crock pot. You're gonna set your crock pot on high for about 4 hours. You're gonna start that bad boy up.
All right. So speaking of bad boy, this bad boy is roughly 3.5 pounds. If we have a larger bad boy in there, is the cook time going to increase?
Yeah, so depending on the size, like you said, this is a 3-pound pork shoulder. So depending on the size, it might take up to 5 hours. Around 4 to 5 hours is going to be the general range for this, though.
So when it's done, what are we looking for? How do we know it's done?
So you're going to be looking for some meat that's just nice, tender, easily pulled apart. You know, just anything that's very stringy, like you can pull it apart.
So once we get to the 4 or 5 hour mark, we'll know when it's done just by sticking a knife in it or a fork in it. If it starts to pull apart, it's done and it's time to plate up, correct?
Exactly.
All right, so in the meantime, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. Do you want to take a hike?
Let's take a hike and we'll come back in 4 to 5 hours.
All right. So we're back after 4 hours, and let's check to see if this is done. All right, so that looks done to me. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna take off all that fat, shred this up, and then it's time to plate up. Pulled pork subs, easy to make. All you gotta do is shred it, salt it, and sauce it.
Shred, salt, sauce, the triple S.
Yes, sir. Pops, thank you for coming over and letting me host an episode in front of your audience.
It's always good.
Blast.
It's always good to have you on. So I see you have another puzzle going. This isn't the same puzzle as the kibasi and rice episode, is it?
No, I love puzzles. You know, this is just a good pastime that me and my girlfriend can share.
All right. Well, at least this one's done. The other one wasn't completed, so it's trying to put this one in a frame. Anyways, we're gonna get to some grubbing. We're hungry, so we'll see you guys next week here on Cook. Don't be lazy.